What's going on, everybody? This is Best in the Borough with another gameplay commentary of Modern Warfare 3, playing a match of Domination on Carbon. My final KD is 40 and 13. Hope everybody had a good New Year. I hope everybody's, looking forward to 2012, and hopefully, some big things happen for you in your lives. This year, I'm definitely looking forward to some good stuff. I'm definitely trying to branch out more, trying to do more things. As far as Spreadshirt, do some open lobbies, stuff like that. So if you want to stay in the loop on that stuff, be sure to follow me on Twitter. You could like my Facebook page. You could also subscribe to my videos, and that way you'll know all the new upcoming and fun kind of things I got going on. Because I definitely want to get to the point where I can start doing giveaways and stuff like that, as far as for my most active followers, subscribers, whatever you want to call it, fans, kind of family, if you will, because it's kind of how I look at everybody, because I can't do anything without anybody else. I can't do this without the support of a fan base, and the ones that have been around from the beginning, I do appreciate it. As far as I got people like Serious Drama, which me and him, we've kind of had some back and forth, communications with each other, and he's somebody that I met kind of early on with my channel, and he was just starting out with his, and he's had a lot of good. I would consider it success. He's definitely a little bit ahead. He's a fair amount ahead of where I'm at, but it definitely shows me that I shouldn't get discouraged, and that I should continue just trying to do what I do. And as far as this commentary, I decided I was going to take a break from, trying to discuss this map or the game, whatever. And I wanted to discuss when I broke my foot severely bad. It's almost 7 years ago now. It was on March 7th, 2005. And I was doing sheet metal work. I worked at I worked for a locally owned private sheet metal fabrication shop, and we had done a job where we removed some large, trying to think what to call them, large debris fans. They were used to help circulate dust and stuff for making, I think it was sinks or something, that they kind of grinded them down and stuff, so they had to remove all that debris. Anyway, so we had I think it was eight or so of these fans that we had removed from this warehouse, and we had brought them back to our shop, of which they were sitting out in front of our shop, and we needed to relocate them. So my boss man, the owner, he puts me and another couple guys on it, and so we got to pick these fans individually up and set them on pallets to relocate them to down past our shop, which is kind of a wooded area off a gravel road. So, this is out in the country, definitely not a lot of stuff around it or whatever, but so it was a Monday, and we had just had our lunch break, which we had 11 o'clock, and I think we had actually been to our 2 o'clock afternoon break as well, but I don't believe so. I think it was just we had our lunch, and back in those days, this is the day. I'm pretty sure it was the day that Grand Theft Auto San Andreas came out, and I don't know about anybody else, but that is one of my favorite video games of all time. I guess partially because, the reason why I got injured was the night before. Me and my friend that I had lived with for a while, off and on here and there. Me and him had got the game, and we stayed up all night playing it. So we're sitting around drinking, smoking a little reefer here and there, and so we stayed up all night because I had to be at work at 7 o'clock in the morning, and there was no way I was going to go to sleep at 3 or 4 in the morning and get enough rest to be happy the next day. I'm not sure how everybody else feels as far as that goes, but personally, if I can't get at least about 5 or more hours, I'm just pissed off with about 2 or 3. It's just enough to really just aggravate the hell out of me and make me wish I was still asleep. I'm much better at just, going on no sleep, staying up for 24 hours or even further. It's just something I can do that. I can kind of just go with the flow and continue, continue going as long as I have something to focus on and something to keep me preoccupied, especially with a job, especially with a manual labor job. You know, there's definitely a lot of stuff to keep you occupied and active enough where you're not going to sit around and be bored and be like, oh, I want to go to sleep, I want to take a nap. None of that. So, so we stayed up all night playing, drinking and smoking. And while I was on my lunch break, I believe I actually had smoked like a half a blunt or something like that. Anyway, I'm not trying to condone marijuana smoking. It definitely is. Definitely is something I'll leave for another commentary. But back to the story. So stayed up all night playing video games, smoking weed, and drinking alcohol. And yeah, so it's about 1 something in the afternoon, I guess it was, because it was just after lunch. We hadn't had our 2 o'clock break yet. This is the time when I started to feel really, really kind of tired and just dragging, and I was just ready for the day to be over. But we had 2 more fans that we had to move. So we get them sat on the pallet, and we go to pick up the pallet, and lo and behold, the pallet is off balance. So it's not really sitting there wanting to hold on there well, and it's sitting there teetering. So I don't know, I guess just being ignorant, a dumbass, or whatever else, I was trying to rush and get it finished. I just wanted to be done and get on to the next objective and what I needed to do. And so I told my buddy, I was like, look, I said, you drive the tow motor. I said, I'm going to sit on one of these fans to help balance it. I said, that way we'll be able to get it down there, we'll drop it off, everything will be fine. We'll just go real easy and keep it real low to the ground. You know, so he's all right with that. So we pick it up, we go on down our gravel driveway of the shop we work at, and everything's going fine. And some of my coworkers, they even see me sitting on the fan on the tow motor forks being driven down the driveway, and none of them really say anything. So, you know, I didn't think much of it, because when I first started there, you know, everybody was really, really cautious and really safety-minded of, you know, you work around large machinery, metal items, these things use hydraulic presses and stuff like that, and they have no conscience. They will chew you up, spit you out, and keep working just as good tomorrow. And, you know, that's a fact of it. I mean, I think in any kind of manual labor job like that, when you're using powerful machinery, yeah, machines don't have conscience. They will just cut you in half and keep on cutting. That's what they do. That's what the intended purpose and design of them is. So we're going down the driveway, and then we get past most of our shop area, and it becomes like a downhill kind of a section. So, you know, we're going along fine. Nothing's happening, and we get to where we need to go over off the side to drop these 2 fans at. And there's a little bit of a dip there. There's it looks like somebody parked there a little too long or something and kind of dug out a little bit of a divot there. So there was a little bit of a roll, and he was having a little issue going over it. And I said, look, just, you know, go easy, just be real soft on it, and, you know, just take it easy, man. We'll be all right, you know. So next thing I know, he gives it a little too much gas and kind of let the clutch out a little too hard, resulting in the forks swaying with me and the 2 fans on it. And these fans are probably about at least 1,000 pounds each. I mean, they had half-inch thick steel plate on the bottom that the fans sat on and were attached to the ceiling with. So, you know, they're pretty heavy-duty, definitely industrial kind of situation. But so I ended up getting slung off of it. I landed with my hands on my hands and knees, and I look at my right side. I'm like, all right, there's a hand and there's a leg. I look to my left side. There's a hand and there's a leg. And at that very moment, it was like slow motion. The one on my right-hand side, which was at the edge of the forks, it fell off. The one on my left, it fell off too. And, you know, like some people say, you get frozen in fear. That's what happened. I just sat there and I watched it slow motion land on the side of my foot. In turn, it ended up being a long time. Had to deal with women's comp. I was out of work for about 4 to 6 months, stuff like that. Definitely wasn't a fun situation, but it's definitely made me become more serious about what I'm doing in my life. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to click the buttons at the bottom, rate, comment, like, subscribe, and I do appreciate your support and your watching. Thanks.